Welcome to Bond STX. This is week 6, February 7th to February 11th. Joined by my special guest today, Daz. So we're going to talk about some more good stocks for the week. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, nor am I advising anyone to spend their money. This is only for educational purposes and only my opinion. Any money spent is at the individual's own discretion and not due to any information from me. So let's get right into it. Got a couple good call outs for this week. Starting out with JD.com. JD.com was one I called out last week. Actually made some pretty good moves through the week. It's coming in this week at a true value of $72.98. It's about 79 cents over value right now. Still moving at a fairly decent trend of a 2. Current price is $73.77. Let's go to the charts and see where that looks like. Oh, before we get into JD.com, let's get into the Nasdaq Composite real quick. Got to go through that first. So a couple weeks back, looking at the Nasdaq, saw that based on historical falls and retraces, I projected that it was going to come down into this range, and it did that week. The following week, expected a little bit of a pullback, and it did pull back. And so I was expecting it to be somewhere in this range between February 7th and February 14th. And so it's kind of in that range right now. Coming into this week, I do see a little bit of a continuation down. I see a possible high in the neighborhood of, by Friday, neighborhood of 14,178. But I expected to kind of retrace back down into this kind of where this lower cake value band is at 1377.70. So don't expect a lot from the NASDAQ coming into next week. Again, it could really kind of show strong. If you can see down here in the MACD, it is in an upward trend, which is going to turn bullish. The teal has crossed the green as of last week. So good signs. Don't know if it can hold. You can see this pullback against the red EMA. You can see this resistance on the red EMA. So kind of makes me want to believe that it's going to fall right back down. And again, right into the circle range that or egg shape that I projected a few weeks back. So so that's one thing I want to start off with. Again, a lot of stocks I call out, trade on the NASDAQ. Looking at the New York Stock Exchange, again, zooming out 1 year, 1 day. This one's closer to the SMA. You can see how it kind of hit the SMA, kind of retreated back. Its true value has gained in the market over the last week. But you can see it kind of becoming flat here. One thing I do want to point out with the New York Stock Exchange, going back historically, you can see a kind of a negative or retracement down on the MACD. So I would expect with this SMA, see that's above, hits below, fights back above. I'd expect to kind of follow this kind of same trend below the SMA. And so I would expect a little bit more retracement in the New York Stock Exchange as well. So now let's get into JD.com, as I mentioned before. So looking back at JD.com last week, came in pretty good last week. Let's zoom in. The one thing I do like, so this is where my buy rating was for JD.com last week. It didn't even come even close to that low. Here was a true value last week. It stayed above true value for the most part. But you see the SMA here. It hit tap, fell back down on the SMA, came really back down to true value on Thursday. And then you see another pullback on Friday. And so I see the potential for JD.com just for this week. You can see how the teal has crossed the green has crossed the blue, the red has crossed the blue. So it's kind of opening up. But the one thing to be concerned about here on the MACD, it is kind of in a downturn. but it could swing back up. So for me, with JD.com, and I know Dad's probably, you won't agree with me on this one, but I feel like there's an opportunity, probably Tuesday, maybe Monday. It could fall back down to 71.32 and then come back, potentially hit and tap again on this SMA on Friday at about $75. So again, more of a short-term opportunity here. And so I'm gonna go in with JD.com this week at 71.26 is my call out for JD.com. 71.26. So Daz, what's your thoughts on JD.com this week?
Yeah, like I told you before, JD.com is one I probably would stay away from just because it has like a bunch of gaps throughout the chart. Okay. And I also really like stable personally. Honestly, like I could potentially even see in JD.com could go down to probably 69.55 personally.
Okay. Is that your
probably, if I had to get in, yeah, I would probably get in around there.
69, what's the number?
69.55.
69.55. All right. Lock it in.
Actually, yeah, my apologies. Let's change that to 29.
69.29.
Wait, is it 29? My fault. 69.34. I had to zoom in.
Okay. 69.34 it is.
Yeah, that chart just, yeah, man, just not a fan of that.
34 it is. We're locking it in.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. All right. Next one on the list is on the list for this week is ABSCI. So ABSCI I have as a long-term play. Coming in this week at 41 cents above true value. A little price a little high. True value is $6.79. Current price is $7.20. At a slight upward trend at a 2. And so looking at the charts, we'll go to ABSCI and see what I'm looking at here on ABSCI. Again, 1 year, 1 day, zooming in. So you see true value. I called out a couple weeks back. Was here. And I called this one out thinking it was going to make a cross, and it did not. It actually got rejected a couple weeks back. And so see, it kind of fell all the way down to created a whole new low. I think the low was at the time when I called it out was $6.11. Created a whole new low of $5.63. Still stayed relatively bullish on the MACD. And so you can see, even though the price fell, the volume was picking up, and you can see the momentum starting to pick up with it. So last week, it didn't make that cross that I projected it was going to do a few weeks back. It didn't make that cross last week, looks like. And so on Tuesday. And so looking at JD.com, I'm sorry, not JD.com, but ABSCI, I do see a possibility of this one continuing on for the future here. By Friday, I definitely see an opportunity for it to get into the $7.50 range potentially. But looking at true value this week at $6.79, I'm comfortable buying ABSCI there. Again, I see the teals cross the green, it's crossing the red. And so I'm seeing the EMA, the green, the price action stay above that teal EMA. So I project a little bit of a retracement here this week, and hopefully an opportunity to get in with the anticipation that this teal crosses the blue here in the near future. So I'm gonna go in with ABSCI at $6.79 this week. That's what's your thoughts on ABSCI this week?
Yeah, I think ABSCI, yeah, that is what it's called. I like it at crazy, honestly though. I like it at like 713.
713. Okay. All right. Again, this is one that's hadn't been around very long. It's a medical company, but good opportunities there. What I'm seeing, especially for the long term. Moving down the list here, got Boeing. Came up as a good scan for the week. Boeing is $3.43 overpriced this week. Potential for it to come back down, which I'll show here in the charts. True value is $203.02. Moving at a trend, very flat coming into the week. So looking at the charts, we'll pull up Boeing here and show you what I'm looking at with Boeing. Again, looking year and 1 day out. You can see the SMA kind of making this rainbow pattern. It's been pulling down. So you see all the taps on the SMA, trying to break through, rejection, kind of a breakthrough, but full rejection. And so I like what I'm seeing coming into the week for Boeing. I feel like there's another opportunity, even if not for another rejection here in the future with Boeing, but a breakthrough. But you can kind of see there's been some manipulation that's been covered. This has been covered. This one's been covered. And so you see pull up, kind of a pull back and pull up here. But you see the cross of the teal and the green, which is good. And looking at previous trajectories in Boeing, once it comes from a bearish to a bullish pattern, project Boeing can get up in the range by Friday, somewhere in the $208 range. I do expect to see a little bit of a retracement here. Again, it depends on how the market moves this week. So I expect getting into Boeing at about the $202 range, even a little bit below true value, is a good opportunity to catch it, even at a potential projection here on the EMA at 204 by Friday, again 205 by Friday. Anywhere in that range is good. Again, a high I would expect 208 range. So getting into Boeing at 202 is a great opportunity to me. So that's where I'm going with on Boeing for this week, $202 even. What's your call out for Boeing this week, Des?
My call out is going to be 203.66.
You already jumped the gun on me on that one. You ready for that one?
Yeah, I'm confident with that.
203, you said 66.
Mm-hmm.
203.66 it is. Good opportunities. Again, I like what I'm seeing there. So we'll see how that goes this week. All right, next one on the list is GE, General Electric. General Electric popped up on the list as a, day trade potential, week trade potential. It's $2.97 overpriced, looking at a true value of $96.04. Again, another one moving flat. It is showing in the cake here. So we'll look at GE, seeing what opportunities present itself to us this week. So again, looking at a 1 year, 1 day, again, very similar to what we just saw with Boeing. A little bit of a retracement here on the SMA. You see a tap a few weeks back on the SMA and a fall down. One of the things I wanted to show here, you see a nice strong pullback last week. The teal crossed the green here. You saw that happen on the 1st. And you see all of the bars, price action above that EMA, which is a good sign. You also see the teal cross the red, and you can see it attacking the blue here. And so all those are great signs that there's some strength in this stock price. Again, with the market, kind of questionable coming into the week, I would expect a little bit of coverage on this manipulation bar, meaning that price was not necessarily intended to be there for that week. I expect it to come back and cover that. I mean, I feel like it's going to come down, touch here, and then kind of pull back up, continue an upward pattern by the end of the week. So I would say you could get in comfortably at 95.03, I feel like, especially if the market does turn down. But I do expect it to pull back up by Friday into the $96 range. If the market takes off next week, I would expect GE to end up Friday somewhere around the 102 range. So it really depends on how heavy the market turns around. This one trades on the New York Stock Exchange, so I do feel like this one may have a little bit more of a retracement. So I would say 95.03 is my go-in price for GE this week. 95.03. Daz, what's your call out for this one?
Yeah, this one's tricky. Like you said, this is really how the market's going to react. If it dips like 2%, close to 3%, I would be comfortable around like 96.29, I think.
96.29. Okay. And GE is a relatively strong company. It's going to follow the market. I mean, you really can't get around it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next one on the list is a little known company. Just found this one on the scan after scanning, about 100 stocks this week. But Luminar Tech popped up as a good opportunity. It's about 74 cents overpriced at a true value of $14.06. Trending flat, but I want to go to the charts and show you what I'm looking at with, I call it laser, is the ticker symbol. See a lot of, before I get into it in detail, you can see a lot of manipulation. So this stock for years, going into the previous year, was in the $10 range. And so huge manipulation coming into the, it's like the end of the end of 2019. So a lot of manipulation pushed this price up to $47.80. And so you can see a continued beat up on this stock price, and hadn't really seen that type of momentum or that type of price action happen. But here lately, kind of see a little bit more momentum picking back up. One of the things that first stands out to me when I'm looking at the MACD, I see this kind of this bullish arrow come up, means there's some strong price, some more volume coming in, buying at a higher price. So when I see that, that kind of triggered me to look into this one a little further. Again, looking at the SMA as a trend line, you can see it's just, again, the stock's been beat up pretty good. But you do see back here in November, you did see a spike up on the SMA. So it actually broke through the SMA. You see almost a few taps here back in early January. So it is starting to gain some momentum, which is a good sign. To zoom in, do see an opportunity where this teal has crossed the green, and then you kind of see a little bit pullback, bounces off the green EMA, but pull back through into the teal EMA. So Again, good opportunity here. I do see, looking at previous from bearish to bullish patterns, I do see a trend of this trajectory of this coming. So I'm thinking about Friday. I would feel comfortable getting in to this one this week at 1406 with the potential of Friday as a projection, even on the trajectory and this blue EMA projection at $14.82. So not a lot, but you can, because it's so cheap, you can get quite a few shares. And looking at a percentage of potential, about a 5% gain. So not bad opportunity this week for this one. You know, like to watch this one a little more just to see if this bar gets covered. So this is a manipulation bar, I feel like. So could pull back here depending on the market. This one trades on the Nasdaq, so something to watch out for. But I do feel comfortable this week at $14.06. That's what your call out for. I'm gonna call it laser. Easier to call it that this week.
So for this one, it's a little tricky. For this one right here, I would say that stay on the bullish pattern. If it was to go down 1439, I like to see how it reacts to that. But if it was to break, I think a comfortable buying point would be honestly, I think 1382.
1382. All right.
But like I said, I'd see, like, if it's bullish and it remains around 1439, 38. You know, that's a good indicator for it still being bullish. But yeah.
This is one too, you know, this is one you don't want to put alert out on, wouldn't just necessarily want to jump in on, at least not me, immediately. Because again, I haven't watched this one enough to know how it trades. But definitely interesting enough to me to call out this week. So I'll probably be scanning this one even more in the future. So, all right, next one that popped up on the list this week. We'll get down into a couple that are moving in a negative trend, but still show some good opportunities for the week. So Micron comes in this week, $1.93 on sale. It's moving at a -2 trend, so it's trending down slightly. It is trending down into the cake range. So look into what I'm showing on Micron this week. Scanning out. And so looking at a year out, a year and 1 day, kind of see this, the SMA kind of moving through the cake here pretty steadily. You do see the stock real down on the SMA the last quarter of last year. And then you see the stock push through the SMA, push through up above the cake range. Now you see a strong pullback. And so historically, once it's been above the cake range, like it is here, and pull back into it, it's moved at this trajectory. And then looking at the SMA trajectory potential here, we'll see a potential cross of these two probably in the late February, early March timeframe, which is where I expect it to be somewhere in that range. But in this week, looking at a potential, see how it kind of broke through the SMA here, did not come back above into the cake range. And so see a strong pullback here, another kind of pull back and pull up. So this one trades on the Nasdaq. I think the Nasdaq is going to pull down. And the only thing that I don't like here is this pull down against the SMA on the green. I'm sorry, the EMA on the green. And so I expect it to come back down below this SMA. But I think once it retraces here, you'll see another manipulation bar to pull it back up. So I expect This will happen this week. I expect it to come down into this range of 76.96 and a pull back up and potentially getting into the $83 range. So I think a good opportunity here, although it is kind of in a downtrend. But I do see, again, a battle back here. Came all the way down to 75.52. Investors came in and pulled it back up. So I see that pull up as a strong indication that probably going to fall back down this range again. Strong battle back up to kind of keep it, trying to fight it and keep it back into this range. But as the trajectory looks like it'll be somewhere around here. You could see a strong pullback about Friday if the Nasdaq really hits hard, pull back into the $86 range. But I do expect it to continue to kind of fall back down. So I would say for this week there is an opportunity, not much, but I do think there's an opportunity for you to get in at 76.88 with the opportunity to come back potentially to at a 6% or even a 1.98 to 2% gain by Friday. So I would say for me, I feel comfortable if this one falls down to 76.88, making some money off this one this week. 76.88 is my call out for this one, Des. What's your call out for Micron?
Okay, so for me, yeah, mine's pretty low as well, but I think 77.49, 77.50 is not a bad entry point.
77.50.
Yeah, I don't think that's too bad.
Okay, it's true value. What I pulled this week is at it's like it's about in the 83 range. So definitely some opportunity here. So yeah, 83.18. So it's a tricky one, but I do like what I've seen and how the investors have been trading this one. So definitely wanted to jump on this one while the getting is good. And then last but not least, I'm going all the way down the list, and typically don't go this far down on my list because they're all sorted by trends. But Facebook had a bad earnings report last week. Investors really killed this one. And so it's trending at a -6. It's about $34.26 on sale, 26 cents on sale. So coming in at a true value of $271.35. So, we think about the metaverse, we think about all the things that Facebook is trying to do. I don't know if Facebook could ever be this cheap. So it's a great opportunity for maybe a long-term play to get into Facebook at this kind of price. I mean, it could fall down some more, but I do think that it's a great opportunity to kind of load up on Facebook, in my opinion. So I'm gonna look at something. I'm gonna look at a little further out for Facebook. So looking back 3 years on Facebook, you can see back in 2019, what's this 20? Yeah, looking back at 2020, you can see the retracement from Facebook for last week came all the way back to the last manipulation point in the middle of 2020. And Facebook has been, again, a steady growth stock, as you can see on the SMA year over year. So it's been killed against the SMA since the start of the year. So it's been on a pretty strong downtrend. And again, my thoughts and theories on that, I won't push them out on here, but me and Daz we'll talk offline on this one. But there's a lot of opportunity for the metaverse and Facebook to be in the game years down the road. So there's an opportunity to get in this week, I believe. Looking at some of the things that that I'm seeing. So a few weeks back, I called Facebook out on a decline. I projected it would be here in this week, and it did. It actually pulled back up. It had a nice reversal, pulled back into this range where I projected it to be, kind of pulled through this range, and then that's the earnings call that I'm talking about. Huge gap in the stock price here. See the volume, we're looking at 188 million shares traded on one day. So that's incredible. So again, looking at the previous trajectory on a downtrend of Facebook, it's kind of really, to be honestly, it's kind of in zone of where it's supposed to be price wise. And so when you see again going back a year and a half, there's some support here at 231. And so you see it hit the 231 and see a pullback here. And so based on my projection, so the true values here at 271, I think by Friday, best case, you can see Facebook even getting into this 256 range. So again, it's really, really cheap considering where its true value is, considering kind of things we know about Facebook. What I don't like here, you see the opening up more of the MACD. So see, again, more volume coming in and buying it at lower prices. So I expect the buying to continue. I expect it to continue down low, but I do feel like there's going to be some manipulation to pull it back up, to fight to get it back to where it's supposed to be. So I'm going in on Facebook this week at $230.31. That's my call out. That's what your call out for Facebook this week.
Yeah, this is one I like you said, we can talk offline, but yeah, this is one I'm not so sure about, but considering like I think it was like what 20% drop. I think Facebook is okay at honestly getting it at 234.51.
230.
Yeah.
234.51. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not want to get in at Facebook at these prices, knowing what you know about it. I think they said they lost 500,000 subscribers in the last quarter or something like that. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but I mean, again, this one drives the market pretty heavily across the board. So if the Nasdaq does pull back up, it's going to be because investors are coming in buying Facebook at higher prices. So I would expect to see a lot of volatility with Facebook this week, whether it goes up or down. So I expect to see a lot of investors rushing to buy in at these lower prices, possibly pushing the price down to get in even lower. So, but I think by Friday, a lot of opportunity for the price to pull back up. So, let's see, anything else on that one, Daz, as far as Facebook?
No, not really. I mean, like you said, it's kind of really appetizing as a price, because I think it's about let me get it right now for you. 2 seconds. Yeah, from Wednesday to now. Yeah, that's about like a 27%, 26%, drop for Facebook. So yeah, big company like that, that's kind of what you want to see when you want to, buy in for the long term. So
right. And I'm sure that stimulated the market falling too. So I would say it's going to follow the market. The market's going to follow it. And like I said, we can talk all day about where we think Facebook's going to be in the future. But I think it's great opportunities, great prices to get in. So anyway, we'll talk more offline about that one. And so stay tuned for some more episodes, some more videos. I do have a new Myths and Mysteries stock market series out. Be looking out for some more videos for that. I've got a trailer video out for it now. And so stay tuned for some more things from myself. I appreciate Daz joining me in a lot of these videos. And so we'll keep continuing to push out as much good information as we can. So stay tuned for some more episodes, and have a great week trading. Thank you for joining us.